Okay, good morning, everybody, and a warm welcome from London to everybody joining from across the world. Welcome to another virtual information session here for the LSE Summer School 2026. My name's Lewis Granger, and I'm the Deputy Head of Global Partnerships and Student Recruitment here at LSE. And it's my pleasure to guide you through our really wonderful summer school program here today. I'm kindly joined today by some very lovely guests. So, firstly, Peter Trubowitz, who is our Professor of International Relations, and among other areas of directorship, he is our Director of the LSE Summer School as well. Ella Nash, as well, who is our Summer School Admissions and Program Manager. She'll be sharing some insights on the application process, the entry requirements, and the course structure. And then we're also kindly joined by Shi Yin Wu, who's one of our student ambassadors from Singapore, who's currently studying economics at the Singapore Management University. She's going to be sharing some experiences of studying on the summer school in 2025, talking about the program itself and the social program and the Spark program. So, giving you some real insights as to what it's really like to study on the program. We're also joined by more members of the program and the admissions team as well, who will be in the background answering any questions that you might have. So if you've got any questions, we're going to leave them, if you can leave them in the Q&A box, and our team will go ahead and respond to them as we go through the session. So please do feel free to do so. Any unanswered questions, you can get in touch right at the end. I'll remind you once again at the end of the session. There is a QR code and there is an email address to get in touch with us. And finally, the webinar will be recorded today. So if you can't stay or you want to review back, if you might have missed anything, please do take a look at the recording, which will be shared with you. It will all be shared on our YouTube channel as well, and it will be shared with you after the session. So what are we going to cover today? We're going to talk a little bit about the summer school itself. We're going to talk about London. We're going to talk about the location. We're also going to go through the academic program in a little bit of detail, how to apply as well, although we did run a session last month, which goes into a lot more depth about that. We're going to talk about the social program and then finally the Sparks professional skills program as well. So I will now pass over to Director of LSE Summer School, Peter Trubowitz, who's going to take you through the intro.
Great. Thank you, Luis. And let me also welcome all of you on the platform to this information session about LSE Summer School 2026. It's great to have an opportunity to meet with you online today and to tell you a little bit about what I think makes LSE so special, why it attracts scholars and students from around the world, and why it's a great place to spend part of your summer studying. As you can see from the slide, LSE has a long, distinguished history. It's consistently ranked as one of the top social science universities in the world, offering courses in over a dozen disciplines. Since its founding in 1895, LSE's core mission has been to make society better. This remains at the very heart of what we do as scholars and as teachers. And I think one of the things that truly sets LSE apart is how global it is, both in its outlook and in its makeup, drawing faculty and students from all over the world and boasting a global network of more than 200,000 alumni. We're proud of many things, our 21 Nobel laureates, the 40 plus world leaders, past and present, who have taught or studied here, the many LSE students who have gone on to become key figures in areas such as global finance, economics, public policy, even rock and roll. Okay, I fudged that last one. Mick Jagger didn't quite finish up his coursework here, but we consider him one of our own. So I got off the boat in London in 2013 after teaching for many years in the US at the University of Texas at Austin. And I can honestly say I never tire of London. It is truly one of the great cities of the world. As you can see on the map, LSE puts you smack dab in the center of it, close to the city's financial and legal centers, as well as the UK's seat of government and the city's many cultural attractions, from the British Museum to the Tate Modern to the West End theaters, all a stone's throw from campus. As a student at LSE, you'll have all of this and much more at your fingertips. And it's one of the many things that makes the summer school, I think, such an engaging, attractive learning opportunity. The other is the summer school itself. So let me say a few words about who we are and what we do. So the LSE Summer School was founded in 1989. And over the past 3 decades, it's grown to become one of the world's largest summer schools, with almost 9,000 students in 2019. Like everyone else, we were hammered by COVID, but we have bounced back with over 8,500 students last summer, and we're aiming for 9,000 students in summer 2026 across our 3 sessions. What makes LSE Summer School so popular? To be sure, some of it's the London location. It's just hard to beat. But most of it, I think, has to do with how the program is designed. It's like a mini LSE program offering our brand of world-leading research-led teaching to everyone using our very best teaching facilities. Indeed, the summer school offers you the best of LSE, including expert teaching, a globally relevant curriculum, professional skills workshops, and a social program that will help you make new lifetime friends from across the world. Before I finish up, I want to just say a few words about the Academic Director's Scholarship, which is, I think, another unique feature of this program. Each year, we offer 15 scholarships for summer school applicants who have demonstrated a passion or exceptional promise in one of 5 key global challenges that LSE as a whole is working to address. These themes include democracy, which forms of democratic governance are inclusive and responsive to people's needs and desires, and what are their preconditions. A second is political economy. What's the right relationship between markets and governments and society? A third is sustainable development. Which social arrangements and policies contribute to development consistent with environmental limits? Inequality. What are the causes and the consequences of social, political, and economic inequalities? And how should social arrangements be constructed to address them? And last but not least, new technologies. How will new technologies impact society, and how can they be harnessed to accelerate positive change and while limiting their potential for harm? These scholarships in each of these areas, they're designed to help you enrich your university career by gaining a global perspective on these issues and achieving academic excellence and developing civic leadership skills. The scholarships are merit-based, and all offer holders, if you get an offer to come to summer school, you'll be invited to apply. And the application, I think this is very cool. This is new. Lewis deserves a lot of credit for this, is a short 2-minute motivational video. So you're really going to be able to kind of, pull out the stops for 2 minutes and tell us like what you have to offer in one of these 5 areas. The scholarship will cover the full course student tuition fees for one summer school session. The application deadline, April 15th, 2026. There's more to say, but that's it from me for now. I'm going to hand the baton back to Lewis, who will tell you more about the Global Summer School student body. But in closing, let me just say how much I hope I'll get a chance to meet with you, to meet you this summer during the welcome week, the opening welcome day. I come and I try to meet all of the students through orientations that we hold. And I hope you enjoy the rest of today's session. So take care. Luis, back to you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Peter. Um, so, who are our students? Um, Although the majority of the students that join the summer school program are made up of full-time students who are studying either undergraduate or postgraduate programs, we do have some pre-university students as well, and some post-university students to add to that as well. So when we talk about these percentages, it might seem heavily dominant. However, the summer school enrolled last year over 8,600 students. So when it comes to 3% of our student body coming from professional backgrounds, that still makes up over 250 students who are coming from government departments, banks, and other private areas of industry. So, there is the opportunity to liaise with people perhaps outside of your circle, giving you a really rich learning environment in studying alongside people who have a different set of skills and attributes. Um, Coupled with that is the student body not only being a mix of professional and student facing. If you can move to the next slide, please. It's also extremely global. So over the past year, during last year's summer school session, we saw 118 nationalities represented within the student body, coming from over 500 universities. So, to put this into perspective, that's close to 60% of the countries of the world represented in just 9 weeks in London. So, it really does get to give you a really global experience within a global location as well. And this is really representative of both LSE as an institution, London, and the UK as a whole. So we're still really a melting pot of different cultures and experiences, and that's really resonates with us on the summer school program. And as I mentioned before, we've got students coming from over 500 universities and those other professional areas of industry as well. So some of you may see your institutions being represented there, but please do remember that there's over 500 represented. We don't want to be putting those on the slides. So the likelihood is that someone will have or will be studying from your institution that will be represented within our summer school. So what about the academic program? What I'm going to do now is hand you over to Ella, who's going to talk you through the program structure and the application process as well. Thanks, Ella. Go ahead.
Thank you, Lewis. So, as Lewis mentioned, I'm the admissions and program manager here at the summer school. So that means the team and I that are on the admission side of things will be helping you with your application from the point that you apply all the way through to when you arrive on the program, and then your post-program transcripts and certificates also. So we're going to go through some key bits of information about the summer school. And then we'll also hear from one of our amazing student ambassadors, Shi Ying, about her student experience. So the summer school is comprised of 3 different sessions, each lasting 3 weeks. So that means the entire duration of the summer school is 9 weeks. However, you do not need to attend all 9 weeks. It's very common for students to come to just one session or 1 or 2 sessions, and some people come for all 3, which will give you the full London experience and lots of time for exploring. Now, a really common question is, can I take more than one course in a session? And unfortunately, the answer to that is no. And the reason for it is because, as Peter mentioned, our summer school courses are an accurate representation of our undergraduate courses here at the LSE, with the same number of teaching hours, so that you have got the full LSE experience in a 3-week period. So each course is 54 face-to-face teaching hours, and that's broken down into 36 hours of lectures and 18 hours of small class seminars. Now, we'll go into what that means in just a little bit, but it's also important to know that there are different difficulty levels of course available to you. And with over 100 different courses available across our 7 main subject areas, there is truly something for everyone. So our 100 level courses are our introductory courses. They're for someone who is at the start of their academic journey, or someone who wants to try something new, who hasn't studied in that field at all previously. Our 200 level courses are the same level of academic rigour as a second year undergraduate course at the LSE, and our 300 levels are equivalent to final year undergraduate in terms of difficulty levels. Now, as I mentioned, you do not need to be confined to where you are at within your academic journey. If you are a first year student, for example, you can still apply for our higher level courses, but you need to make sure that you've gone onto the course page of our website and double checked that you meet our course prerequisites. And what that means is, for example, if you look in the finance section where it says Advanced Corporate Finance at the bottom left of your screen, that's a 300 level course, and so we would look that you have demonstrated on your application that you have a baseline knowledge of corporate finance. And so the reason why we want that is so that when you arrive, you're able to hit the ground running with your studies, and we want students to have a great time and still enjoy their time in London and be successful. As where it's only a 3-week course, there's not all that much time for catching up. So we do make sure that students have got our prerequisites when you're filling out your application. Now, the course structure I mentioned earlier, which is 54 hours of teaching time broken down into our 12 3-hour lectures and 12 90-minute seminar or tutorial groups. Now, the lectures are every single student who is on that course in one room together, learning new content, engaging in questions and answers with the lecturers. And it's a really great time to get to know other people on your course, as well as learning all of the new modern day case studies that your academics will be bringing in. And I think it's also important to note that these are the same LSE teachers that teach throughout the entire year. So it's a really amazing opportunity to get that LSE experience in the summer too. Now, your tutorials, your seminar groups, will be a maximum of 22 students. So it's a much more small setting where you'll be doing questions and answers with your teachers, practice papers, debate, case studies, and it's a great way to consolidate that new knowledge that you've gained within the lectures. Now, your timetables will vary a little bit. So some courses will have morning lectures, other courses will have afternoon lectures. And generally speaking, the morning lectures will run from 9 till 12 or 10 till 1. In the afternoon, we try to always schedule those lectures between 2 and 5 p.m. Whereas your seminar classes, they will run at different times every single day. So some days you might have a seminar from 2 till 3:30. Other days you might have a seminar from 3:30 till 5. But it rotates so that no matter what class you're in, you'll have a variety throughout your day. So you are not on campus for the full day, or some days you might do some independent study in the library to prepare for one of your assessments. Now, I think that this is a good point to talk to Xiying, our student ambassador, about her course experience. So Xiying, would you be able to introduce yourself to all of our listeners here today? Let them know where you're studying at currently and what you're studying, and the courses or course that you took on the summer school programme.
Thank you, Ella. Hi, everyone. My name is Shring, and I actually had the privilege to attend LSE Summer School last summer in 2025, where I actually took EC 104, which is on History of Global Economic Development, examining the wealth and poverty of nations. So, back at my home university in Singapore, where I major in economics and finance in the Singapore Management University, it was a module that I feel is something very different from modules that were offered in my own home university, where the module actually focused a lot on European history as compared to modules in Singapore, where I currently study and live in, where it's more focused on global economic development. So for me, what I enjoyed the most from the module was how the pedagogy is actually very different from my own home university, where we're able to experience both the seminar style teaching, where we actually have discussions with peers and also the teaching assistants, as well as a lecture in the afternoon where the professors will actually provide us with this um, a series of information that we require to prepare for our case study for our seminar the following day. So it was very insightful being able to be part of the seminar where, I'm able to hear experiences, opinions, and very insightful knowledge from my peers who come from all across the globe. And I think it was a very interesting and very memorable time at LSE where I'm able to learn from my peers, the professors who actually come from a range of different professions and backgrounds and experiences. And I think this was a very good opportunity for me to learn from different people and for me to also make friends that I would say I still keep in contact to today. And I think it's a very wonderful experience being able to experience, the teaching through the LSE Summer School program.
That is so fantastic to hear. And it's great that you're still in contact with all of your summer school friends. That's amazing. You mentioned about learning from others within your course. Did you have much opportunity to collaborate within the lectures or the seminars or complete any group work?
Yeah, so during the seminars, we'll actually have debates where we will actually, like split the seminar groups into two, where we would have in seminar discussions with different people from different classmates from different parts of the world, where we're able to share our own insights based on what we have learned in class or based on our own cultures and experiences back home. So I think this was something that I really enjoyed, being able to hear the different insights from my classmates and being able to hear what my classmates' opinions are on certain things that we discuss in class. It was also very interesting because during the short 3-week program, we will actually have examination, our final examination, as well as a midterm essay that we actually had. So all of us will actually discuss and help each other out during the short 3 weeks program, which I thought was very interesting and very memorable looking back now.
Thank you so much, Ying. That is really, really helpful. I'm sure everyone's really appreciated listening to your experience. So, she mentioned about assessments, and I guess that brings me on to the next point of our presentation, which is how you will be assessed and your post-program documentation. Now, a lot of people will be coming to the summer school to transfer credit back to your home institution. And it's really important that you've spoken to your study abroad office and academic advisors at your university to ensure that the credit transfer has been approved, as this is at your home university's discretion rather than the LSE's. Now, in order to get that credit, you will need a grade usually. And the way you're going to get your grade is to complete both your mid-session and your final assessments. The mid-session assessment is at the start of week 2, usually on the Monday or Tuesday. And this could be an essay, an exam, a group project or presentation. And so it's worth looking at the course outline for the course or courses you want to attend to establish what your mid-session assessment is. Now, the final assessment for nearly all courses is a written exam on the last day of week 3, so on that Friday. With both assessments, we mark them really quickly and give you the grades back within a week. So for that mid-session assessment, that will be with your feedback so that you can then use that information to best prepare for your final assessment and be successful in that grade. Now, we will email out all grades to you, and then in September, once the program's completely finished, you will be issued with an official summer school transcript, like the one that you can see on your screen. Now, you can also see the percentage and grading marks there on the transcript, and it will say your full personal details, the dates and courses you've attended, and your grades. Now, you'll notice on that last line that one of the grades says attended, and this is an option for students who do not take the final examination. So if you have attended 75% or more of your classes, but do not take both assessments, then you can be issued with an attendance mark. If you do not take any assessments or miss one of the assessments, but attend less than 75% of your classes, then your transcript will say registered instead. Now, in terms of applications have been open for a little while now. So they opened at the end of November, and we give out course spots on a first come, first serve basis. So some courses are already full. So if you have a particular course that your heart is set on attending, please do not hold off on submitting your application, because it may be that in a couple of weeks' time that place is now unavailable. We mark on our course pages when courses are full, and we also note on there when there's a limited spaces left. So that would mean that you need to get your application in as soon as possible to secure your spot. Now, our entry requirements are we look for a GPA of 3.3 out of 4 or a B+ average. Now, for our 100 level courses, those introductory courses, we can be a little bit more flexible on this, particularly if you have demonstrated that you have achieved those grades at some point throughout your academic career. Now, if you are someone who is not at university yet and is looking to attend university in the future, you would only be eligible for the 100 level courses, and you would need to have evidence that you have an offer to attend university in the future, as this is our minimum entry requirement. For our 200 and 300 level courses, as I've mentioned previously, we need to see evidence that you've studied a specific course prerequisites, which are listed on the course pages of our website. We also look for evidence of English language, as you would be examined in English for both essays and written examinations and presentations. So what we are looking for is either that you have studied with English as the language of instruction at university, or that you provided us with one of our approved English language test certificates. So for example, if you've taken the IELTS and you've got our minimum requirement of a grade 7 in all areas, or the TOEFL with 100 for the old TFL scores from 2025 or earlier, or a 5.5 if you've taken that test in 2026. If you have any questions on our entry requirements, please just do get in contact with the summer school and we can help you with this. We also run preparatory English courses. These are now all in person for 2026, and they run the week before each session's courses. The aim of the preparatory English course is to refresh your English language skills, and is a subject-specific course. So for example, if you are attending a law course and you're thinking, I would quite like to refresh my English language skills because I'm going to be assessed on essays during my time at the summer school, you would then be grouped with other law students, and you would be looking specifically at the law terminology and what our lecturers and teachers look for within law essays and how you would structure these. So it's a really positive thing that students really enjoy, just to get themselves ready for the start of their course. Now, in terms of tuition fees, there is a £60 application fee, which is non-refundable. And then we have got the course fees dependent on how many courses you would like to take. Now, I should mention that the Preparatory English course is not compulsory. This is something which is completely optional and you can add on to your summer school experience should you want to. The summer school applies a discount for the more courses that you take. So you can see here that if you are attending just one course at the student rate, the cost is £3,350. But if you were to attend 2 courses, the cost per course would be £2,775. Now, the final part for me to talk about is LSE accommodation. Now, LSE accommodation is not something that's compulsory for students. Some students prefer to make their own private arrangements, but it's something that we really recommend for students because it's a great way to connect with students from all around the world, from outside of your course. And you can come to and from campus together, go to the social events and the professional skills workshops together, and it's a really nice community atmosphere. Now, all of our accommodations are off campus, and that's really common for London universities because the universities are in the centre of London and there's not much space. So the accommodation is in other buildings around London, but all are within a very short commute to the campus. Now, the closest one is High Holborn, which is often the most popular. So again, with the first come, first served nature of summer school, I would urge you to book quickly if you want to stay in the LSE accommodation. There are a variety of rooms to suit your budget. So the budget that you have, you'll need to look at where the location is of the accommodation, whether or not you want a single bed, a double bed, whether or not you want a private bathroom, shared bathroom. And we also offer some double or triple rooms if you wanted to come and share with a friend, for example. For all of our accommodations, breakfast is included and there's 24/7 support available to you. So there is a security desk and a reception desk, which is a really important part of your student experience. For example, if you misplace your key by accident, there is someone there who will always be available to help you. Now, you can book your accommodation as soon as you have received your summer school offer. So again, please do not hold off too long if you have a particular course you want to attend or a particular room that you would like to book. Now, I am going to hand back over to Lewis, who's going to talk to you a little bit more about the student experience.
Thank you so much, Ella. So I'm going to cover along with our student ambassador the social program. This is another pillar of the LSE Summer School, which occurs outside of the classroom. And this is a really core part of the summer school experience. Essentially, we run a really wide range of social events throughout each of the sessions, which can help you form new friendships, build a global network, and experience London and the UK from a really kind of bespoke perspective. So each year we hear that the social program is what makes the summer school really unique and special. And we offer a real mix of both free and fee-paying activities, but the fee-paying ones tend to be quite subsidized and offered at a quite a favorable rate in comparison to not being a student at the summer school. So things like walking tours of London, weekend trips to Oxford and Cambridge, West End theatre trips, and there's new for this year, it's going to be a running club as well, some food tours and lots of other things. So you're going to also have access to the LSE gym as well, which is highly subsidized if you want to keep on working out whilst you're in London and studying on the summer school. Just to be clear, not all events will be running in each session. And this is essentially aimed at making each session a bit special, a bit more bespoke as well. So I just want to ask Shi Ying, maybe would you be able to share with us what your favorite type of event was when you were studying on the program and why?
Actually, my favorite event was actually the LSE weekend trips. I think it was really nice to be able to explore beyond London, what UK has to offer with my friends that I just made in LSE. So I think, like for a bit of context, I actually applied to LSE Summer School alone. And I think it was a really good opportunity for me to foster new friendships with, peers who are also on the LSE Summer School program, and also to kind of deepen the connection that I already had with some of the friends that I made, um, who were staying in the same dorm as me. So I think it's really nice to be able to explore what UK has to offer beyond London. And I think visiting the university towns like Oxford and Cambridge was very interesting because it also gave us the weekend trips actually was split into two, where the first half of the day was actually a tour where we are introduced to the history of the different buildings that we see in Oxford, Cambridge, as well as Windsor. And afterwards, we actually have our own free time to roam around the city or the town to, explore the little cafes or food options, or just simply walk around the town and experience how living in that town feels like. And I think it's something that um I really treasure. It's a memory that I really treasure to today because it really allowed me to have conversations with my friends, to be able to explore new places together, take photos, and it's one of the core memory I have from LSE Summer School.
That's fantastic. I myself grew up in Oxford, so I understand how special of a place it is, and it's always nice to hear that our students really enjoy learning about its history and roaming about, and not only Oxford, obviously, Cambridge and Windsor as well. Um, so coming back to London then, Xiying, when exploring central London, what were some of the places that you really enjoyed visiting the most, and what made them special for you?
Mm, I wouldn't say there's a particular place in London that I really enjoy, but I think one of my favorite activity to do in London is to walk. I think
Hmm.
London is one of the most walkable cities, and the weather is great during the summer. The day is long, so I think it's really good for like students to go out and explore. I think one of the another core memory of mine throughout the 3 weeks is actually waking up at 6 a.m. to go walk along the river with my friends from Holborn, from High Holborn, because it's just a stone's throw away. So we actually walked from our accommodation all the way to Big Ben, Buckingham Palace, through Chinatown, Soho, and then back to our accommodation for breakfast before we head for our seminar and lectures throughout the day. So I think it's one of the memories and the most enjoyable activity that I've done. I think walking really allowed me to explore London, being able to experience firsthand how London feels like. And it really made me feel like a local in London, being able to immerse myself in the culture, taking a little bit of a relaxed mode while exploring London and just, I guess, immersing myself in the culture with my friends is something that I really do enjoy. Another thing I really enjoy about London is the culture and also the plays. So I watched a couple of plays and theatre shows when I was in London, and I think it's really special because some theatre shows run throughout the year in London, which is, not common back in Singapore where I live. So it's really nice to be able to, book a ticket for a theatre show tonight and just, walk to West End to catch it.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And, it's interesting that you mentioned kind of being in the accommodation and hanging out with friends from your accommodation as well, and just having really close access to the West End, some of the world's most famous, tourist attractions as well, and the river. So it really kind of, cements the idea of accommodation being a key aspect of the summer school program as well. And, we really do recommend that you look at the LSE accommodation as a viable option for your stay, for all of the reasons that have been mentioned before. Okay, thank you so much, Ying. We're going to move now to just discuss very briefly the third and final pillar of the LSE Summer School, which is the Spark Professional Skills Program. So, alongside the social element of the program and the academic side, we are also, and we have grown this over the years, and formalized it into another pillar of what we have here at the summer school, which is, today's recruiters and employers are really looking for people who can drive creativity, innovation, research and development, that kind of thing. And what we want to do is give you the skills that employers are looking for to make you a well-rounded, holistic graduate. You can take these skills back to your program or into your professional life as well. And that's what the Spark Professional Skills Program offers you. So these are sessions which run alongside your full-time study. And essentially it's a variety of professional skills workshops and sessions which are designed to promote essentially the importance of career planning alongside your academic study. So we work really close with the Entrepreneurship Hub, the Wellbeing Centre, the Digital Skills Centre, and the Careers Department. And they create sessions which run at lunchtime and outside of study time. And some of the sessions from last year included CV workshops, cover letter workshops, coding workshops, female founders evenings, industry talks, and things around ethical AI and sustainable fashion. So although it might not be specific to what you're studying, it might be relevant to what you might want to find out about in the future. The world of employment is very varied. What you're studying now might not be exactly dedicated to what you're going to be doing within the employment sector after. So if you move over to the next slide, we've developed a kind of digital badge system. So if you attend a certain amount of sessions, you'll be issued with a digital badge, which you can then display on your LinkedIn profile. And then if you attend more, it will be silver, more will be gold. And essentially, this gives you the opportunity to showcase the holistic education that you received at LSE during your summer school program. So it's not just limited to the education or the social element. There's this professional element to it as well, which gives you that well-rounded overview. So finally, what kind of support is available to students? So at the moment, during the application process, Ella and her team are on hand to support you through the application process, how to apply, and how to pay deposits, and then accommodation, etc. Excuse me, you might hear a ring. But during the program itself, the summer school team are available on campus from 9:30 until 5:30 in person. So they can answer any questions that you might have during your program. They'll be able to provide you support. There's an IT help desk as well. There's study and well-being sessions offered outside of this as well. You essentially have access to the whole campus. So, there is support available to you in any way, and we are dedicated in doing that for you. So, firstly, you may have some questions. So if those haven't been answered today, please do feel free to get in touch with us, and we will be able to support you with those questions. Also, please do follow us on our social in particular Instagram, tells lots of different stories. And please do keep in touch with us via our emails. So on the left-hand side is our emails that come through to you, and on the right is Instagram. So please do feel free to stay in touch, and there will be a copy of this recording available for you. Okay. I just want to thank you once again for tuning in today, and thank you so much to all of our speakers, Shiying, Ella, Peter, and our team in the background who have been answering questions. And we really look forward to welcoming you to the summer school next year. So thank you so much. All the best.